Welcome in, everybody, to week 4 of the rundown here on Big Rapids Daily News. We are indoors today, not because we don't love Mother Nature, but of course, just to give you guys a little change in scenery. Brandon Worth, that's Jack Heckman. We're the guys breaking down all the CSAA football for you. And Jack, we got a great episode today. We got a big-time announcement that we're going to tell the people in just a moment, but football was pretty one-sided, it felt like. Pretty chalk all the way across the board this last week.
Yeah, 100%. All the games decided by 39 or more points. Very cutthroat week.
Absolutely. And we'll touch on all those games as well as the week ahead and preview those games as well as a great interview, which you guys might have saw already on the cover, so we'll get you there in just a moment. But, of course, let's start with a breaking news. This show is too big for this room and too big for just the two of us. So we are taking it on the road next week for Rivalry Week, the Big Rapids Reed City Rivalry Week 5. It's the game that everybody's had on their calendars circled for the last season, pretty much since last year in Week 3. They were ready to go again. So we're going to have the rundown coverage for you. We're going to be live from the high school in the loading dock area. We got a lot of fun things planned, some interviews as well as we'll have some giveaways for all the people that show up. It'll be from 5:30 to 6:30. There will be additional details online at Big Rapids Daily News for all of the event information and what you can expect. We'll talk about the history of the rivalry. We'll have our game picks, game day style for the week ahead in the CSAA, which have some good games based on what we're seeing ahead so far, some good games upcoming, and we're going to be talking some football, so it should be a great time.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think I've been more excited for an episode of the rundown than this in week 5. It should be very exciting. Should be something everybody should come definitely check out.
Absolutely. And for those that can't make it, we will be live streaming on YouTube, so if you're not at the field yet, you can still watch with us, or if you're from a different team and you're now at Big Rapids Reed City, it's a big game, but we care about our Eagles or we care about our Vikings, whatever it may be, we will still be talking about those games as well, so you can tune in there. You find it wherever that you watch this show. So be sure to get that notification bell as well, because we're going to be going live quick, fast, in a hurry. So you better get your Gitchy up. That's all I'm going to say. We got a lot of fun things in store once again. Big Rapids Daily News to find out all the details. Before we get into scores to recap, big thanks to our sponsors, including Denny's Muffler and Brakes. You can find them on State Street, I should say. Really, it's North State Street in Big Rapids on the north side of town, at least Maple Street Bridge. They can help you with general auto repair as well as oil changes, the whole 9 yards, so much more. You can find them online on your nearest search engine. Give them a call, schedule an appointment today. And big thanks goes out to Eagle Village. You can have a job that impacts the lives of youth and maximize your potential as a professional employee. You can find out more information on all the things that they're hiring, including the big one right now in family therapists at eaglevillage.org. Eagle Village, where potential soars. So, Jack, let's get right into it. Some scores to recap. As we mentioned off the top, I mean, it was pretty much a cut-through week. It was chalk across the board. All the teams that should have won theoretically if the world was decided by marks on a piece of paper, they all won. But at the end of the day, it was dominant performances. We'll start, obviously, with Big Rapids, 56-0 over Newaygo. The biggest real takeaway from this game was nobody played clean. I mean, both teams committed a lot of penalties. Big Rapids included, I believe, 12 penalties in this game despite scoring 56 points. That's something they're going to have to clean up going into this week and especially the next week if they really want to have a really good chance to take down both those teams.
Yeah, 100%. 2 big games coming up, but hey, 56 points on. Sells are, not happy with the penalties, but hey, you take it away, you dominated, you played the game in front of you, and you won by a large margin on homecoming night. Absolutely.
You gave the fans what you were looking for, and a lot of guys getting in, some of those second stringers that made a lot of plays, so it was very exciting to a lot of the Cardinals seeing the up-and-coming, the young parts of the flock being able to soar on homecoming night, and they're going to have a tough test ahead, but we'll touch on that later on in the episode, but they're going to have a tough task against Tri-County next week, who really got on the right foot this last week, 55-9. They're now 3-0 after a big win against Grant, and it really comes with that star-studded offensive side of the football. They're playing some great football right now, and I think their defense was very impressive. They gave up 9 to Grant, but Grant really came out and punched him in the mouth a little bit early, but then they really kind of got settled back in, and Coach Butler's crew on the way from there.
Yeah, 100%. Same thing as Big Rapids. You come out, you dominate at homecoming night, exactly what you want to do. Give the fans that win, give the fans a huge win over a team that you are much better than on paper, on the field. They played much better than Grant in every facet of the game.
And how good has Chase Keller been so far this year? He could be one to watch in this upcoming matchup this week for sure for Tri-County. Reed City and Chip Hills, boy, this was a 0-0 ball game going through the second quarter, but Reed City turned it around, flipped the switch in a hurry, put up 6 unanswered TDs for a 42-0 win. This was exactly what Coach Schenkel's crew wanted after last week. After the Belding win, can they continue? Can they keep pushing? They showed that they could do that this week. They shut down that Chip Hills passing game, and from there, they got their run game going off of the pass a little bit. Couple tricks in the book, but it got the ball rolling and got a lot of wide open scores.
Yeah, 100%. I think you said it on the broadcast last week. 28 points in 5 minutes. They just came to play in that second quarter, flipped the switch like you said, and, same thing as these other two teams. Give the fans what they want on homecoming night, win by 42 points. Exactly what the fans ordered.
Exactly. A lot of touchdowns, a lot of fireworks spent, and that's good money spent on homecoming indeed. Kent City looking over at the CSAA White, 40-0 winners over the Mohawks of Morley Stanwood, and Kent City's a team that continually shows that consistency. They are really going to be the team to watch, going into that matchup against Central Montcalm right ahead, I believe in week 7 this year. I mean, that's really where the conference, it feels like, is going to be decided, but their running back depth this year, I think, has been really understated for what Coach Gropp has in that backfield and how many bodies they're able to use to churn up yards each and every game.
Yeah, 100%. It's the same thing Reed City's been able to do successfully over the last 10, 15 years as you turn that running back crop, run the wing tee, and able to run the ball at a consistent rate, and that's exactly what they're doing. You win by 40 points, exactly what we've talked about with the other 3 teams. Win, 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 and they're giving their fans massive wins, which is something to look forward to.
Absolutely, and Coach Kripe's crew really is showing that they're 1A and 1B with Kent City. I mean, that's going to be the title weight fight right there, and I think for Central Montcalm, right, 40-point winners or 39, discrepancy, I actually don't know if it was 6 or 7, so you can put a slash next to it. Either way, it's a big win for Central Montcalm. The margin and the result doesn't change, but they like to use the speed. I think their defense has massively improved since week 1, and I think that's something to really watch because they're going to need it. We know this team can score. It's very similar to kind of what Tri-County brings on paper in the red, but Central Montcalm, they keep this defense up, man. They could be a team to watch not only in the CSAA, but maybe they can make another run after what happened last year running into Newaygo. Maybe this is their year.
Yeah, 100%. We've seen them play great on all facets of the game. Week 1, a big win. Week 2, you have a come from behind victory against Newaygo, and then in week 3 you blow out Lakeview. This is a team that's playing on all facets of the game. You mentioned their defense much improved. I sound like a broken record saying this, but putting up points that gets the fans happy, and that is something to look forward to in the going weeks.
Absolutely. Zane Cooper under center has been very good for this football team and continues to do just that. And Hesperia over White Cloud, this score was not up to date as this was posted. It was actually 53-14, but obviously the result doesn't change. For Coach Trice's group, it's really, you might think now back to the drawing board a little bit. What do we need to fix to move forward? Because obviously the first 3 weeks haven't gone your way. So they're going to have to respond quick, fast, in a hurry, especially for what they have this week. They have an opportunity to play at home, but against a really good Central Montcalm team. We'll talk about that later on. But, I mean, really for the Indians, they're going to have to probably go back into the locker room, onto the whiteboard, and say, what do we got? What do we need to change? Because we got to really try to turn this season around if we want to get these fans really up and going. Yeah,
100%. This is a team that's only scoring 4.6 points a game and allowing 57.6. You mentioned it. Something has to change. That's a 52-point average differential. It's just not good. Something's got to change quickly.
Something's got to change, and hopefully it's the home crowd maybe for them this week. We'll have to wait and see. We will preview our Week 4 games upcoming, but first I had a chance to sit down with one of the biggest coaches in West Michigan, one of the longest tenured coaches in West Michigan. So without further ado, we'll send you to the interview room. Welcome in, everybody, to our exclusive interview. I am joined by Tri-County head football coach Phil Butler, as well as very talented player on his football team in Wilson Sixbury. Guys, thank you so much for dropping on with us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. You do a great show, and we're excited to be on it.
Absolutely. It's great to have you guys on. I know it's a big game this week. We'll touch on that a little bit later. But first, Coach, your initial thoughts, 3-0 to start the year, including beating a really good Ovid Elsie team back in Week 1. But just talk about how you and your team have played through the first 3 weeks of the year.
Yeah, very excited about our start. Obviously, being 3-0, whoever you play is good. We beefed up our schedule this year with Ovid Elsie, who's an unbelievable football program, and we had them come over to us, and that was a huge win for us, one of the bigger wins in Tri-County history the last 10, 12 years with the status of their program and what they've done the last few years. Sanford Meridian came in Week 2, and another program Tri-County's never played before who they were really good. They were tough. They started 16 sophomores a year ago, and all those guys are back. They only had 2 seniors on their team, so their future is very bright. They played us really good, really tough. That was another huge win for us. And then we opened up league play last week against Grant, who, historically, Tri-County Grant's a big rival. It's a trophy game for us. We have a sledgehammer that we go back and forth, and so our kids were in tune for that. We had the homecoming night. As a football coach, it's scary to have homecoming. You just never know if your kids are going to be there mentally, and there's so many other things going on, but very excited about the schedule and the start to the 3-0 year this year. Obviously, Big Rapids is the real deal, and they're 3-0. So this is a big one this week.
Absolutely. Wilson, I'll go over to you. I know you're a very talented linebacker for this football team, play slot as well. Just talk about from what you and the guys' perspective as far as how the games have went on the players' side of it.
It's just been so good. Every single week we're building up. And week one, we could tell there's nerves in the locker room. Everyone, because we never played Ovid Elsie or Sanford Meridian. So just everyone was nervous. Everyone was having the chills. And then once that first snap hit, we just came together as a team. It was perfect.
Absolutely. And I know you guys are really looking forward to this week, and I know the guys on the other side behind enemy lines are looking to as well. Just talk about the matchup that you guys see on paper and how good of a football game you guys expect on Friday night.
It's going to be amazing. This is what high school football is about. Two schools that are 20 miles apart, that are 3-0 undefeated going in. Coach Selzer's done an unbelievable job with Big Rapids' football program, and the last what he's built there, the last 7-8 years. But I mean, Big Rapids has really turned the leaf a couple of years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and just amazing what they're doing. They're good on film. They fly around. They have unbelievable players. They're big. They are strong. They're fast. They're physical. Everything that a football coach dreams about. On our end of things, our kids know each other. They go to church together. They go to school together. Career center, those types of things. They hang out on the weekends. They're dating. The same family members, and Wilson's one of them here. And so it's fun. Like, this is what it's about. And Coach Selzer and I are good friends, and we're going to battle it out on Friday night. And afterwards, we're going to give each other a hug and be there for each other the rest of the year. And this is one of those rivalries that you respect each other. It's going to be a battle on Friday night. It's going to be packed. But this is what high school football is about. It gives me chills. It's going to be an awesome atmosphere there Friday night. Big Rapids does unbelievable things for their not just their game, but their atmosphere. Their stadium's beautiful. So looking forward to the atmosphere, the competition, the challenge. Anytime you go to Big Rapids to play Big Rapids, it's a challenge, and they're really, really good. So, but we're gonna do our best. We'll be ready to go 7:00 Friday night.
Absolutely. And Wilson, for your side as well, I know you've been a contributor for this team since even before the senior years as an underclassman. Just talk about what you've had as far as growth in the program and being able to contribute on such a successful team so far this year.
It's just been relentless days in the weight room all summer, just everyone coming in. Nobody backing out. We have workouts at night for the linemen. We have workouts for the skills in the morning all summer long. I mean, it's these games that we're lifting for. Yeah, Ovid Elsie is great, and Meridian is great, and Grant is great, but it's like teams like Big Rapids and Reed City and Ludington that are going to put us over the top.
Absolutely. And Coach, I know especially the last couple of years you've had very successful teams. The program's really been on a resurgence. But as far as the playoff runs go, I know you've wanted them to be longer. Is this strength of schedule, especially some of the teams are playing, like Ludington later in the year, obviously playing Ovid to start the year? I would have to assume those are, right, the counterpacks of getting your team ready for their playoff season run.
Absolutely. We sit down as a staff. Our staff's been around for a long time. We've been together for 14 years, and we sat down after the season last year, and we knew that we had some contracts that were coming up, and we said, hey, we need to beef them up a little bit. Nothing against those schools. That we really enjoyed playing those schools. We played Morley. They're a smaller school. Respect the heck out of Morley. We just needed someone a little bit bigger that could get us a little bit more playoff points. And then we signed Ludington to a 2-year deal. Who it's probably the wrong time to sign them to a 2-year deal. They're really, really good. Their quarterback just signed with Ferris, and he's unbelievable. It's coach's son. But that's part of it. We got to put ourselves in the fire during the season, so we're ready to go in the playoffs. And the playoff points are going to be huge if things go the way they need to go and for our season. And we need different checkpoints. Our model this year is the climb. We're talking about checking things off the box, enjoying the process, enjoying each day, getting better every day, taking steps towards the top of the mountain every day. And these games, the Big Rapids game is one of those checkpoints where it's going to be tough, and we know that. It comes a point in every mountain that you're climbing that you need to make a decision. Do you want to go on or do you want to quit? And our guys are ready for the challenge. And that's just the next step of the climb. And, so our schedule, you look at it, last March, I'm like, man, this is a tough schedule. Then in July, I'm like, what am I doing, man? This schedule's crazy. And so we're pretty excited about it. We're excited to see the different programs and where we're going to go. But yes, definitely something that was planned out with our coaching staff, and excited for the schedule.
Absolutely. And Wilson, I'll go over to you here with kind of the final question with what the group that you have, and we'll get coach's perspective here in just a second as well. But from what you have as a perspective as a player on this team, what are the things that you see that make you so well, so much chemistry on the field and execute every Friday night?
Outside of football, we're all just best friends. We hang out. We go to church together. Me and my friends, we go to church every Sunday. We do Bible studies together. We hang out all the time. We always got each other's back. No one's walking alone in the hallway. We're all picking each other up. It's just a brotherhood.
That's wonderful. And Coach, I'll ask you the same question. What is this team, especially compared to years past, what makes this team that special?
Yeah, kind of what Wilson said. These guys are our buddies. They have each other's backs. I think when you bleed and sweat with someone, you work hard with someone. These guys have bought in, and they've been in the weight room. And when they work hard and they see each other growing and hitting goals and celebrating those goals, and it makes playing together beautiful. We talk a lot about being selfless, and these guys celebrate each other. You look across the board. We've had some guys that have had huge plays, and it's been a different person every week. And our guys are great with celebrating that and celebrating the success of the team, not of individuals. So I just think, we talk a lot about, you have common people with a common goal, and the uncommon can happen. And that's one of the things that are happening right now with us is we have a common goal, and our common people who walk the hallways together and live life together are bought into that goal. And the uncommon can happen if we continue to go forward.
For sure. Well, thank you so much, Coach Wilson, for joining us here on the show, and good luck this week and the rest of the year.
Thanks, Brandon, for all you do. Your show is awesome.
Big thanks to Coach Butler for joining us here on the show, giving our love to some Viking fans out there. They got a big game up ahead, and we'll talk about these matchups here in just a moment. But first, if you want your rivalry merch, now's the time to get it before it's too late. Beat BR shirts, Beat RC shirts, Chip versus everybody, the rest of the CSAA. You can find more upcoming on rivalsmi.com. And then we'll have also some more merch upcoming here for the giveaways if you show up to the Tailgate Live. So be sure that you're there so you can get some limited edition merch. Big thanks also goes out to Dazos Digital. Target your target audience with the experts at DazosDigital.com. They can help you with so many advertising needs for you and your business to stand out above the fray. You can find out more at DazosDigital.com. So now let's dive into week 4 here, Jack. We got some big games on deck. Let's start, obviously, with the big one, right? Tri-County at Big Rapids. This is a big game for both teams, right? Playoff intentions are certainly in play. We know it's only week 4, but these are really big point games, as far as Big Rapids being a D4 team, Tri-County being a D5 team, compared to a lot of the Division 6 teams we have in this conference. I mean, this is a really big game, not only for conference championship indications, but also just the fact to get some playoff points is huge in a matchup like this when you need to be battle-tested as a football team.
Huge game. 2 tune-up games for each of these teams the last couple weeks. These teams are ready to play in week 4. This is probably the matchup outside of Big Rapids Reed City. This is that secondary matchup. This could be for the conference, and it's only week 4. That's how massive this competition could be.
It's going to be huge, and the line play, I cannot stress enough, is going to be huge in this game. What team can get each other's run game to play action game going first could be the indicator of who wins this football game. It should be what should be a really good game. At least we're expecting, we'll see what teams show up on Friday night. Also on Friday night, Reed City will be going to Grant. The Coyotes will take on the Tigers, and this will be a big matchup to see kind of where Grant stands. Kind of got pushed around last week against Tri-County. They have a chance to get their get back at home, but the biggest thing, especially, how are they going to slow down that backfield? That's going to be the big question for Coach Lowry to especially see what are they going to do to slow down Kason Kopic, Andrew Kianis, as well as Jack Deitch. Deitch has had a monster start to the year, by the way, though, statistically. But for Grant, really utilizing a lot of those athletes. Jaden Newton, how can he control this game? That's going to be very important because they're going to have to slow down the tempo and they're going to have to score when the opportunity presents themselves almost every time to have a chance in this one.
Yeah, 100%. I think people, focus on the run game of Reed City. They were able to pass it a couple times last week, but a big thing is the confusion the wing T creates for Reed City, and that's how they're able to bring these big plays. And if they bring their big plays this week, this game could get ugly fast.
It really could. We'll hope to see if that weren't to be the case for the sake of all of our Grant fans, but all I know our Reed City fans want to see what happened last week. A lot of offensive touchdowns and not for the other team. Looking at another matchup, Newaygo at Chip Hills. Obviously, two teams that want to get more wins that have played good in parts of the game, but not consistently all 4 quarters. Newaygo, really, they were a couple minutes away from being a 1-2 football team. But I think especially the biggest note that I have, this could be a track meet type of game for not only how good the offenses have shown that they can be, but for also how porous tackling and defensively they have been so far this year. So which defensive unit steps up the most? I think might win this one.
Yeah, 100%. And we know how good Hunter McGuire is, but maybe not the fans out there. This could be his coming out party to show the fans how good Hunter McGuire truly is at quarterback for the Warriors.
Yeah, and on the other side for the Lions, Trevor Garbrecht, how is he going to be utilized in this game? Especially, how are they going to use Sebastian out of the backfield? That's going to be a huge question mark for both these offenses, countering the defenses. Lakeview at Morley Stanwood. I mean, somebody is not going to be defeated any longer after this week. So it's a very exciting game for both fan bases, knowing, hey, both teams have a chance to come out with their first win of the season. A lot of emotions on the line. For Morley Stanwood, they played well in week 2, a little bit down last week, and Lakeview could arguably say the same. They really didn't play bad in week 1, even though they got shut out to a really good Spartans team in Mesa County Central. But I think you have to understand for Lakeview that you're going to have to execute offensively, right? Those zeros can't be in the scoreboard anymore under your own name. You got to find ways to score points. Morley has been able to do that more this year, but is Lakeview going to be able to do something on the road? They got to be road tested to come out with this one.
Yeah, 100%. This Morley Stanwood team, they want to win. They were close with Chip Hills. They should have won against Harbor Springs. Maybe this is the game where you're 1-3. You get a little bit of momentum going forward even to next week. I'm trying to see who they have. White Cloud next week. Hey, you're a 2-3 ball club after week 5, but you have to handle this business this week.
Absolutely, and especially Lakeview's got really good guys at the backer spot, make tackles. What do Bo Slavens and what do those backs do with Morley Stanwood to counter? We'll have to wait and see. Central Montcalm at White Cloud. I mean, this is really a one-sided affair on paper. Central Montcalm, I think the biggest key for them, can they execute? Can they stay healthy in this one? And for White Cloud, you could arguably say really the substance is what you're looking for, because this might not be the most winnable game, but you have to prepare yourself to get some wins down the stretch in order to provide some love to that fan base.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll flip the switch from Morley Stanwood beating White Cloud in week 5. This is a team, White Cloud, you come out, you play the X's and O's. This probably isn't a winnable ball game, but hey, if you are able to put up 14 points, that's a momentum booster for a team that's only scored 14 points all season long.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be a lot of fans, I'm sure, for White Cloud there in attendance, so hopefully they get to see something good. For the Hornets fans out there, looking to see a lot of what we saw this year from this offense already. And then a little fun matchup here, non-conference with Kent City and Hart to finish out the slate. And Jack, I know you mentioned that there's history between these two teams and two really good football teams. You take away the emotion, you take away the personnel. These are two good ball clubs that have had recent success in the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%. Just a little bit of history between these two teams. 2023, Hart able to win 44-22 in the playoffs. This is a game this is big for both these teams going forward, even looking into the playoffs. Like we said, it's only week 4, but Kent City, can you handle business versus Hart? And looking at the other way, Hart, it's going to be a tough game versus Kent City Eagles team.
It's going to be really interesting to see Kent City, how they use those backs against that Hart defense. That's going to be very interesting to see with Coach Gropp and company. That's going to conclude episode of week 4. This is our last pre-recording for the next 2 weeks, which is really fun. We're going to be live with you guys once again on Friday, September 26th at Big Rapids High School for the rivalry game, 5:30 to 6:30. We'll have details up on Big Rapids Daily News, so make sure you follow along and subscribe there. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on the episode. It's going to be really fun. I can't wait to interact with the fans. I know there's going to be some giveaways that are given out that we can't tell the fans yet. We can't tell you guys because it's so secretive, but it's going to be really a lot of fun. Can't wait to just have so much fun at a football game. I think it goes to show it really is about these kids and being able to support them. So let's bring a whole crowd. Let's get this stadium packed in week 5 for this rivalry game. It's going to be emotional, there's no doubt about it, but let's just put on a display to make some memories this next Friday.
Yeah, 100%. And it's almost got, game of the week, college game day feel. We're going there. It's going to be exciting. Like you said, pack the stadium, come before, watch us, see our takes on the week, and, prepare for this game and truly get what it means to be this rivalry.
We're going to get to the nitty-gritty. Don't you worry about it. We have 75 years of archive books to go through ahead of this match. It's going to be a lot of fun indeed. So make sure that you wear your rivalry merch, support your team, but make sure that you support respectively in this game, right? At the end of the day, we're all people too, but it's going to be a really fun football game. So find out information. Thanks for all that have watched with us. Big thanks to all of our sponsors, and we will see you in Week 5 live at Big Rapids High School for another edition of The Rundown.